Good morning children. I Anu Dhariwal welcome you all to the class. Children, as you know, we are discussing chapter 2 titled From Trade to Territory from your NCERT textbook, that is Art Past 3rd. In the last session, children, I told you we will be discussing Battle of Plassey in our next session. So here it is. Let us begin with the topic. As a result of denial of trading rights on 23rd June 1757, Battle of Plassey was fought and it was the first major victory of English in India. So children, when we are talking English, when we are saying English here, it refers to the Britishers. So in Battle of Plassey was fought on 23rd June in the year 1757. It was the first major victory of the Britishers in India. Why was the Battle of Plassey fought? It was fought due to the denial of trading rights. When the Britishers, they were denied of the trading rights. Ali Vardi Khan died in 1756 and Siraj-ud-Daulah became the Nawab of Bengal. So children, as I told you earlier, Aurangzeb was the Nawab at that time. When he died, after him Ali Vardi Khan was made the Nawab of Bengal, and when Ali Vardi Khan died in 1756, Siraj-ud-Daulah became the Nawab of Bengal. In 1757, Robert Clive led the company's army against Siraj-ud-Daulah at Plassey. So who was leading the Britishers' army? Robert Clive. Main reason for defeat of the Nawab was that the forces led by Mir Jafar, one of Siraj-ud-Daulah's commanders, betrayed Siraj-ud-Daulah and never fought the battle. So children, Mir Jafar, about whom we are talking here, was the uncle of Siraj-ud-Daulah, and he promised Siraj-ud-Daulah that in the war he will fight with Siraj-ud-Daulah against the Britishers. His army will support Siraj-ud-Daulah's army. But when the battle started, Mir Jafar and his army betrayed Siraj-ud-Daulah. They shook hands with the Britishers and never fought the battle. That is why Siraj-ud-Daulah was defeated. Mir Jafar was promised by Clive to be made Nawab after crushing Siraj-ud-Daulah. So why did his uncle betray him? Because by Robert Clive he was promised that if we defeat Siraj-ud-Daulah, we will make you the Nawab of Bengal. As per the deal, Mir Jafar became the Nawab of Bengal after the defeat and death of Siraj-ud-Daulah. But he was the nominal head of Bengal and actual power remained in the hands of British. So as promised, Mir Jafar was made the Nawab of Bengal, but he was just the nominal head. Only for calling he was the Nawab of Bengal, but all the power remained in the hands of the British. So you can say Mir Jafar was just a puppet of the British. After began the Battle of Buxar. After the defeat at Plassey, Siraj-ud-Daulah was assassinated and Mir Jafar was made the Nawab. So he was killed. Siraj-ud-Daulah was killed and Mir Jafar was made the Nawab. When Mir Jafar protested, the company deposed him and installed Mir Qasim in his place. When Mir Qasim complained, a war was declared on him. So after some time, what happened? Mir Jafar protested and he wanted the company, he wanted to take some rights from the company. But what did the East India Company do? Instead of them, they removed Mir Jafar from the position and installed Mir Qasim in his place. So Mir Qasim was also a relative of Mir Jafar, children. When Mir Qasim complained, a war was declared on him. In 1764, the Battle of Buxar was fought between Britishers and Mir Qasim, when Mir Qasim denied the privileges given to Britishers. So when Mir Qasim was made the Nawab of Bengal, he thought that the Britishers are earning a lot of profit from us and we are getting nothing in return. So he denied many privileges that were given to the Britishers. Britishers did not like it and they declared a war on him. Mir Qasim abolished the trade duty for everyone and transferred his capital from Murshidabad to Munger. So children, the trade duty that everyone had to pay, the taxes that everyone had to pay, Mir Qasim abolished it and what he did was he transferred his capital. First his capital was Murshidabad, and then he shifted to Munger. He made Munger his capital. But this was against the interest of British, and they declared war. Britishers did not like it, so they declared war on him. In this battle, Mir Qasim, the Nawab of Bengal, Shuja-ud-Dawla, the Nawab of Awadh, and Shah Alam, the Mughal king, fought against British. All these three kings, rulers, they fought against the British, and British forces who were led by Hector Munro. At that time, Britishers, their East India Company or the army that was fighting against these three rulers, Hector Munro were leading them. In this battle, British became victorious and they decided to control the territory by their own. So again here Britishers won, and they decided that they will control the territory by themselves. They will make no one the Nawab this time. In 1765, the Mughal emperor appointed the company as the Diwan of the provinces of Bengal, and they also got the Diwani rights of Bihar and Orissa. So children, Bihar and Orissa were part of provinces of the Bengal at that time. So in 1765, the Mughal emperor appointed the company, East India Company. They set them as the Diwan of the provinces. Through that, they also got Diwani rights in Bihar and Orissa. Now company officials became Nabobs. In 1764, Robert Clive was appointed governor of Bengal. So children, as you can see, first we were having Nawabs of Bengal. Nawabs were ruling the Bengal. But when the Britishers won, they stood victorious. Then Robert Clive was appointed governor of Bengal. Nabobs, an Anglicized version of the Indian word Nawab. So it is Nawab, but it is the version of the Britishers, Anglicized version of the Indian word. They call it Nabobs, as British were leading a lavish life similar to Nawabs, and everyone was on the mercy of British. So they wanted themselves to be called as Nawab, but you know their accent, they call it as Nabobs. They were enjoying everything, all the lavish life similar to the Nawabs. So this is it for today, children. We'll continue the topic in the next session. Till then, stay home, stay safe, take care. Thank you.